think we're live. Let's take a look. It looks like we're live. Yeah. I am going to, you know what? I'm going to quit out and check one thing. I keep having to do this at the start of these streams because Songs of Six is behaving a bit weirdly with OBS. So I'm just going to, this is what we're going to do. Okay. I do apologize for the black screen. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Okay, well, welcome back to Robshot Hotspot. We're going to launch into Songs of Six. I was going to stream this game earlier today. However, I went down a rabbit hole preparing some new SimCity 4 content. So for those of you who are checking this out on YouTube as a VOD, just know that there's more SimCity 4 content coming soon. I just released a new tutorial for that game. And yeah, it's coming along. I got down a rabbit hole doing a bunch of terrain modding and trying to import regions into SimCity 4. So so basically yeah, it took me like all day to do something that I thought would be sort of a matter of like, I don't know, a couple hours. But it's exciting stuff. So much to look forward to. Probably going to be starting a new Let's Play series of SimCity 4, which I think some of my viewers who've been watching this channel for a while will be very happy about. So we'll see. We'll see. 1 second. There we go. This can go over here. Sorry, I'm still setting this up. How about that? All right, I think I'll just... Right. Okay, that works. All right. So I'm going to continue from a game that I started a few nights ago. I've also been doing some other testing in this on this map. And what we were doing is we were kind of trying to build this like defensive walled city. And I kind of got bogged down last stream in kind of rescaling some of my industries, but we did this cool thing where, God, I've been playing SimCity 4, and so now I'm gonna like left click to try and move the map around. It's, I gotta say, I wish there was a hotkey mod for SimCity 4, because playing these two games at once is gonna just confuse the hell out of me. Anyway, we tried to do this thing where the idea here is we're creating a huge amount of grain farms to accumulate a huge amount of grain, because grain is the most efficient food to store, and it does not rot very quickly, basically. But we also want to have this walled city, so I've built walls that go right up to the edge of the sort of best agricultural land. This got a little messy here, but we can maybe fix it later. And the idea is to have like a nice, clear, open area that archers can potentially shoot at enemies if we get attacked, and a relatively solid wall. Maybe we can start by cleaning up some of this, just making this diagonal. It's going to look a lot nicer. I don't mind. I like these kind of organically drawn things in this game, but you really do have to make them diagonal. Otherwise, it kind of looks like a nightmare. There we go. Got our water pumps over here. I don't know if archers would be able to shoot over this wall. I think I'm actually going to delete this just to be safe. Not this part. Wait a second. We'll leave the wall here to kind of like sort of protect the water pumps. Like these are all areas where enemies, like individual enemies, could sort of slip in by walking on the canal and stuff. And they are able to, so I guess, sort of wait on the canal. What's going on here? What's going on? This is not being repaired, and that is because, where is my... Okay, this guy, the janitor, is missing something. He's missing fabric, metal, and he's missing metal. Okay, all right, well, this is also a mess. We can't have these like this. We're gonna need to line them up the length of the wall. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll do. How am I doing? I got lots of foods. I'm starting to build up ration supply. That's right. Okay, so I think what we want to do is we want to nix the stone and furniture, and we'll redesignate 2 of these as stone and furniture. Okay. And then we need 1 to be metal. I think the warehouse setup in the city is a bit of a mess. I'm going to have to do some work on that. And we're going to also need to get a stone quarry going, and I think... let's just do... Ooh, why do I have 2 storages for metal? Yeah. Yeah, it's a little messy. It's a little messy. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I was thinking of like moving around a lot of stuff. It's not a very nice looking city right now because it took me a while to figure out where I wanted to put everything, and then I kept having to move things around. We need to actually train some more soldiers. I think that's kind of top priority. We don't have a huge amount of food. Yeah, we're gonna need to put more people in these bakeries. We have a bit of a buffer of grain, and we have lots of coal. So let's just add, let's go up to 400 people. I think we probably need some more housing on this side of the city. Just take a look at the... Yeah, we definitely need more housing on this side of the city. We'll continue building housing along the walls here. Longhouses, please. Like that. And on the other side of the gate, maybe? What's the... Oh, I might use this to get some coal going. Oh, wait, no, I already have that there. Okay. I probably want to reserve that space for expanding the woodcutter. Okay, well, let's just... I think we should... Well, actually, I don't want to block off. I'd like to have a clean road to that. Messy, messy, messy. The thing about this game is it's like, if you want to like build a big city as quickly as possible, it really makes sense to just design a big grid from the start and build on that. But it doesn't really produce a very aesthetically pleasing result. So, okay, we've got immigrants coming in. We've just unlocked the embassy and a little bit more research points. That's good. Got tons of lumber. Okay, and we really do need to have more archers. What is this? This is an archer division. I'm gonna create another archer division of just 10 dudes, and we're gonna give them max training, max bows. I have a lot of bows, right? Yeah. Yeah. A little bit of armor, and I think that's good. Should probably name those divisions so it'll be easier to use them. Keep track of which ones are archers and such. What a mess. Okay. Now I'm gonna add 5 more bakers, or just go up to 5 there. Yeah, we definitely were. Okay, this is so weird. It's like, I think we just need to produce a little bit of an excess of bread, even though I don't like the fact that it's, don't love the fact that we're sort of wasting it. Because the distribution and the logistics and everything, you need to have a little bit of a buffer. This hauler probably does not need to be here, because these guys are just running to the... Yeah, we're just going to automate this. Okay, so that's getting filled up. I'm very tempted to turn off the day-night cycle just because it makes playing the game a little bit easier, but let's just put a pin in that for now. How are we doing on... Oh, we've got tons of clothing. Okay, I think we need to start exporting some stuff. Thing is, if you export stuff, you start to get inflation, so we should start... If we're going to export things, we should also import things. And I'm thinking maybe we import, like, one of the foods that we can't really get in this region. Like, maybe we export excess clothing. So all of our clothing is being stored here? Yeah, okay. Okay, we have drinks being stored there as well. Let's just kind of... Okay, get rid of that. The metal doesn't need to be stored there either. So this can just be like a pure clothing warehouse. It's kind of small. I would like a bigger one, but I think, yeah, the thing is, we can export clothing. It's probably our best thing to export right now, but we also kind of want to accumulate clothing in case we want to field an army. Because they need clothing to travel on the world map. So the real answer here is to actually just build this warehouse bigger. It's also in a bad spot. Yeah, it's not in a good spot. We should just rebuild it. Okay, let's not fuck with it for now. Okay, this food vendor... Yeah, there's like 5 haulers hauling bread over here. Why are my hotkeys not working? I swear to God. Do I not have R set as the road hotkey? No, R is rotate. Right. Oh, no. Okay. All right. I remember now. I remember where it is. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right. So, are these mushrooms? No. Okay. Clear that. We don't need that. All right. And we're just going to make a road that connects this hauler. I mean, there already basically is one, but it's, yeah, they're going all the way to this. Where is the bread being stored? Here. Okay. Yeah. So this over here is sort of our ration making district. Here we're doing some furniture. Are we doing coal here as well? Yeah. I think we are somewhere. Or maybe we're not. Wait a second here. I gotta find out. Okay. We're gonna go to charcoalers. One is over by the... Aha, okay, yeah, so we are doing coal here. Okay, good. That's close enough to the metal smelter for now. We have a shortage of metal. Yeah, we're just barely producing enough bread. Decay, 15 bread. Now, we should definitely sell excess livestock, that's for sure, because we're basically losing all of it to decay anyway. So let's start doing some import and export. So we're going to export the excess livestock here. I don't want to prioritize these. I want them to pull from this warehouse. And I only want them to pull when the warehouse has... Not a bad idea to keep, like, a little stock of like 16 livestock. And I don't want to automate the labors. I only want one worker. Yeah. That way we'll vastly reduce how much decay we're getting there. That's probably like a good heuristic for buying and selling things too, is sort of looking at like how much are you wasting to decay, you know? I wonder whether we put these rations. No, I don't think. I think we just need to store the rations. I think we need to eat the decay. I think it is what it is. Like really, what you're looking at is like you're looking at the decay number. Like if we hover over this ration thing here on the right side of the screen, you're seeing that we're losing 2.3 rations per day, but that's on a stockpile of like 1,400 rations. So it's just not that big a deal. And then the meat, for example, we're losing a little bit to here. That's because we don't have enough ration makers working. Interesting. Oh, we can upgrade this? Oh, what does that do? I guess it just makes it more efficient? I didn't even know that upgrade existed. Yeah, so now, okay, that's great. So we can actually reduce the workers in the ration maker. We want to... That's about perfect. Yeah. I basically want to turn all meat into rations. That's the goal, because meat decays really, really, really quickly. So, yes. Okay. Well, that's cool. I did not even know that upgrade existed. Usually, those upgrades are unlocked by tech. We also have a shortage of herbs. Okay. Well, that's not ideal. Probably. Where are the herbs? Maybe we buy herbs. That would be a good thing to buy with the money that we make from selling the livestock. In terms of clay, I think we just want to expand our pottery here. Yeah, generally speaking. Okay, let's do a little bit of work here. We're just going to go through every resource and kind of work on expanding. Make sure that they're located in good spots and kind of expand them as necessary. There's no point in selling excess coal. We're gonna need more coal for another metal smelter, and we're also gonna need more ore. Okay, all right. I think, did I like put a bunch of workers in here or something? Let's just go through systematically here. So we can probably reduce this to like 7 workers. Maybe 6 workers for now. Okay. Coal, the coal here, we can reduce the number of workers. Like 4 there. Okay, that's fine. We have a little bit of a shortage of leather, but yeah, we'll increase that a bit. The leather is kind of random because it depends on whether the hunters are having a good year or not. We are overproducing clothing a little bit. It's just kind of necessary to do this because I want to have a positive balance of... Yeah, I want to have a positive balance of cloth. Oh, I'm already doing masonry. Okay, I already got a mason setup going down here. Great, amazing. So we're gonna slowly start accumulating. I think we'll go with more masons. Yeah, and we can increase the number of stone miners. Oh, we need to increase the size of the stone mine. Yeah, masonry is a good industry to scale up now. Let's go to 12 workers. Oh, we also seem to have a shortage of carpentry. That's really bad news. Okay. All right, we'll go to 12 stone miners. Where is my carpenter? Did I like shut it down or something? No, I just need to build another one. Only have Okay, this is making spears, and that's making... Okay, so I just need to double... I need to double this. Yeah, as we start upgrading things and employing... and building more kind of complex industries and stuff, carpentry becomes a real bottleneck. Oh god. Okay, we're also short on storage for weapons. Okay. The potter here. We should go to like something like 12 potters. We have a little bit of a wood shortage, but we're clearing so much land that I'm not too worried about it right now, but we will have to sort of keep that in mind. Oh, this is when this game gets really complicated, because you've sort of got to juggle all of your resource inputs and outputs at the same time. It kind of makes trade to be a little bit more of a compelling gameplay loop in this. Okay, sorry, I had to check something. Right, so we need to import, yeah, let's import. We don't really want to just be accumulating money, so we're going to spend any money we get importing. Is there storage for that here? Yeah, okay, so we're gonna reduce this storage down to like maybe this stuff decays pretty quickly. I think we need to go up to 160. And we want to import until we are at... like 80%. There we go. So that's already coming in. There we go. Now we'll continue to accumulate rations. Pretty expensive though. Yeah, it's very expensive. We need to sell more stuff. Okay, the breweries. The breweries are consuming pottery, obviously. Are we making anywhere near enough drinks? Oh, we're not even storing any drinks. What is this? This is bread. There needs to be drink storage here. Also, I think there's really no reason to be storing pottery over here. Let's replace that with drinks. There we go. That makes sense. Okay. So are we making anywhere near... Yeah, we're actually producing... No, we're not. We are not producing enough drinks. Well, that's fine. We're just going to produce what we produce for now. The drinks will make people happier. Unfortunate thing about drinks is there's not really much of a way to distribute them to the rest of the population. So it's really only the people around here who are actually getting the drinks. Just because of the way the game works, essentially. Because there's no you can't distribute them at markets, which is a little bit annoying. Okay, we are overproducing bread. I don't think we should sell bread. I also don't know that we're actually overproducing it. Let's just leave it for now. Nobody's starving. Yeah, I'd rather these guys... Yeah, I'm just really trying to balance all this stuff out. Sort of this is how this game works. Like, you have to balance out all your production, and then build new things, and then balance out your production, and then build new things. And every time your population increases, you have to essentially balance out your production again. It's just kind of it's just sort of how it works. Yeah, we need to sell more stuff. So the question is, what do we sell? What do we sell? So all of the industries that we have, you can see here that they will come to, if we store resources without like exporting them or using them, all of the resources will hit an equilibrium where the decay is equal to what they produce. Now, for certain resources, like these military resources, that's fine. I really want to stockpile these, and I don't particularly want to sell them because I'm trying to build up a sort of long-term stockpile. But for other resources, okay, I think maybe we sell clothing. Yeah, we're definitely starting to hit. Yeah, maybe we sell clothing. Oh, we don't have any odd jobbers. Damn. Okay, let's take a look at loyalty here. Look at services. I'm just gonna go through every service one by one. Just look at the heat map for them. Get a sense of where we might be missing. Looking like we're good for hearths. And wells. Yeah. Alright, speakers. We could probably use a second speaker over here. What about the... Yeah, I think we need another speaker over here. I'm gonna just increase this by 10. Just give us a little bit of a buffer here. Okay. Food vendors. Now this food vendor I think is just too small. Yeah, it's just too small. So we do need to expand it. Take a look at the soil. I've got some stuff I need to move here. Let's take a look at its radius. So the radius is reasonably good. Either that or we just build a second one. Feel like ideally this needs to be moved like over here, and we need to build 2 of these. Yeah, I think we need 1 here and like 1 over here, and then we afterwards will delete the one in the middle, and they're both gonna need bread haulers. Does this keep its... No, it doesn't. Okay, you go get bread from there. Okay, we're gonna delete this, delete this. The bread ones can pick up from the ground too. Those haulers are using up a lot of... Yeah, let me just put them down to 1 and we'll let them adjust. Okay. Hopefully that will work. Yeah, and we deleted the one in the middle, that's fine. Looks like I've got some roads to nowhere and stuff. I gotta redo this sort of textile district though. We'll see, we'll see. We'll see. You know, resist the urge to delete a bunch of things and rebuild them constantly because it's just, it never ends if we do that. Okay. I think like a good way to design your road network in this game, and I really have not been doing that, is to connect all of your distribution points to your production points. Like, it's not that necessary to have roads to every single door and every single building in the early game. It's mostly just you want to use the, like, we want there to be roads that connect all of the distribution points. Okay, so that's our food vendors. It does look like they're just too small, but we'll see. We'll see. Interesting. These are automated, yeah. Looks fine. This is just going to take a while to hire up. Yeah, it's just, there's just not enough bread moving between locations. Take a look at our raid risk here. Okay, we do have 95 raiders potentially. I kind of feel like with the archers we might be okay. Yeah. We'll see. Right. We have a pretty critical shortage of metal, so I'm going to double the metal smelter. Maybe, does it get doubled the other way? Yeah, it gets doubled this way. And I'm storing a bunch of stone up here, which seems wrong. Oh yeah, if we're gonna double that, we need to increase the size of this as well. So this is gonna go up to, like, I guess, probably just double it. Some more auxiliaries here. Yep. We gotta be a little bit careful about that kind of thing, because if we shut down industries, we can get screwed. Like, maintenance can start falling apart in other buildings and stuff, so we gotta start thinking about health, start thinking about crime. Okay. We're good. Let's go to... Man. Really short on... Oh, it's because this all... Okay, turn that one down for now. Okay, we need like one more of these guys. Maybe two more. Okay. And how much ore are we producing? Just enough. Okay. Take a quick look at the housing map, make sure that we're not... Yeah, we need some more housing over here for sure. There's enough housing here. And I was in the middle of sort of auditing our amenities. Just add a little bit more housing there for good measure. We have 14 days of food stored. How close are we? Okay, we're not super close to hitting an equilibrium in terms of rations. We could... Okay, we're good. This is gonna have to be bigger-ish. Yeah. Okay. Like, we are at equilibrium for war beasts. They're decaying faster than they're being produced, but that's fine. We have the stockpile that we need. Do we sell pottery? Where are we storing pottery? Down here? We certainly can't produce more drinks. It's just not, it doesn't really make sense to do so. We should, though. That's the problem. Like, there's nothing I really want to sell. Maybe we sell, Problem is, if we want to field an army, we need to accumulate some of those resources. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. But we definitely need to work on our loyalty. So let's start with that. So I've done these 3. I've done the food stalls. I've done the well. Stages we don't have, actually. Markets and lavatory. Let's take a look at the lavatory situation. That's a decent radius. Yeah. That's pretty much covered off. We'll need another one like over here at some point. And also markets. Okay, I have a feeling we might be missing some markets. Yeah, you know what? I don't really think so. Maybe down here. No, we have a market down there too. Okay, so it looks like I pretty much distributed the service as well. I don't think there's a shrine here. Oh, there is. There is. Yeah, okay. We got shrine there, shrine there. Shrines down there. Shrines there. Okay. So they have all that. Where is my... Okay, there we go. Okay, we have a place to bury the dead. Yeah, I think we're actually in pretty good shape for amenities. Now, I don't really want to distribute goods to people because this kind of scales with production. I think what we need to do, I think there's only one solution here. I think we need to research. Well, we could start upgrading parts of the city to cut stone, but we're not really producing enough excess of that right now to do that. I think we're better off just leaving the cut stone to accumulate. But I do need to find something to sell. I think the most cost-effective thing to produce is maybe the clothing. So maybe we just scale our clothing warehouse properly and sell. We're just going to decide how much we want to store and then sell the rest. Which means, yeah, we need to expand. We need to expand our cotton farm here because we have a deficit. Okay, so we're gonna do the textile industry thing. Not super keen on selling food. Okay, but before we do that, let's go into here. Let's go into here and we're going to research. I think we do proper burial and we do entertainment. Those are the most cost effective. Oh, we're also going to need guards. And maybe a dungeon. I don't think we need aurochs. We're producing a lot of leather right now. We'll need paper eventually, but not yet. Maybe we just save up our research because we're probably going to be wanting to go for... There's some very expensive research we're going to need to do. Like, we need to unlock library. We need to go for... we're going to need library. We're going to need to get down to healthcare. I'd like to get to tavern as well. Because then we can actually distribute, you can actually produce and distribute drinks. Okay, but let's focus on getting our... Let's focus on getting our happiness up here. So we'll start by building a graveyard. Maybe it goes over here. Yeah, let's just build a decent sized one over here. Is that a smart way to do things? Ah, we'll see. Doesn't matter. Okay. I think the trees are the most efficient. Well, actually, let's do... kind of take advantage of the... Let's respect 54%. To make this a little bit larger. Actually, no, wait, we can fill this out with pathways. Oh, we're at 100%. Maybe I can fit more graves. Let's delete a tree. No. Okay. Well, I'm gonna leave it like that. That's fine. We're actually slightly overbuilding it, but that's not a very big graveyard, but it is what it is. So that's really gonna help with happiness. Okay, we do have a bread shortage, big time. Yeah. Definitely need healthcare with all these accidents that are happening. Loyalty is going down. Well, it's not really going down. It's just kind of stagnating. It's gone down because because some people have died because of injuries. question is, what can we do? We can maybe do decorations. I really am having a workforce issue, though. We're not really producing much of anything that we can scale back. I guess I can temporarily scale back some hunters. Okay. Yeah, once this graveyard gets built, we should get a big boost to... Yeah, there we go. Okay. Big boost to loyalty. I'd like to scale this back up again. Give me, like, some more dudes. Yeah, a lot of people died. Like 10 people died in accidents. That's why the happiness went down. Okay, what was the bread situation? So it looks like our bread storage is maxed, but we can actually look at this internal storage, and there's lots of like buffer space for us. So we don't need to be storing a bunch of bread in another warehouse. Okay. We also unlocked stages, so we need to get that built real soon, because that's going to help us. Okay, so stages have a pretty big radius, if I remember correctly. If we put one like here, it should... we have a shortage of herbs. It's a real problem. Maybe we research herbs and farm them ourselves. Yeah, I think that's the move. We don't need a very big farm. Do not need a very big farm. Where is the research for that? Okay, it's a little bit pricey, but it's fine. Because I don't really think we need to be, like, importing shit right now. We're going to want to put this farm down here for now, so it actually gets good efficiency. And then what we can actually do is, rather than import the herbs, we can sell the herbs. I think, like, no more than 5 farmers should be totally fine. We'll want to be moving this farm north once we reactivate that pump, but... it's gonna take a while. We're for the time being, we're like importing herbs as we sell things. So, or I do a quick trade and trade a little bit of excess weapons. Nah, I don't want to do that. I want to accumulate weapons. I want a huge fucking stockpile. Oh, we're out of crates here. Okay, well that's probably a good sign that we can maybe sell some stuff. Or that we need more storage. Yeah, we pretty much just need more storage for that. Okay, well, we'll keep that in mind. Because I don't really see any reason why we would... So, what's this looking like here? like we're not buying anything. Fucking weird. I'm just gonna set this to max for now, and then I'll delete it once we get that farm going. Yeah, okay, that's gonna get built. That's fine. That's fine. Oh my god. Well, that's not good. We just didn't build a janitor down here. Bad. Bad, bad, bad. That's gonna be a real mess to fix. We need more people. Okay, that's all getting fixed. That'll increase our productivity for all these industries down here. Okay. We need more people. We probably have too many industries going at once for the early game, but that's okay. We're gonna get some efficiency tech soon. In fact, I think what we want to start by doing maybe is maybe researching another level of this, or what's our grain supply looking like? Yeah, okay, so I think what we do is we research the basic refining and the basic farming. What happened to, is that? Oh, I'm out of innovation points. I only have knowledge points. Okay. Well, that means we need a lab, but I don't really have any excess labor to put into a lab. Maybe we shut down the drinks industry temporarily, because we're not really able to meet, well, we sort of are. Yeah. Okay, well, we've got more, we can attract more people, it's fine. Okay, stage is pretty good. It's not getting down to those people, but that's okay. Yeah, we're gonna need another stage. What are these size? They always have the same kind of number of employees, but there's different dimensions of them now. Okay. Just stick that there for now. I don't think we need a stage down here for now. All right, let's go. And we're gonna need to get a lab. Simple as that. We need to. We're hitting a cap here where we're not really able to. Actually, that made a big difference. So now we basically need more farms. We need more farms, but we also need to get some research going. So I think what we do is we're going to build a lab over here so that it's relatively close to the... Oof. We're just barely producing enough carpentry. Let's build the lab first. That's like way more lab workers than we actually need. But yeah, this will be easy to scale up. Because yeah, we need efficiency now. That's the thing. Okay, so let's just start with 10 lab workers for now. Scale up our clay production. We can also... This can be rotated over. What? Oh, no. That makes a lot of sense. We're gonna need some housing over here, I think. No, no one's been dropping in. No one's been dropping in so far. But that's okay. But welcome on stream, Lucario. I basically I want to test some stuff in this game, and I might make some tutorial stuff for this game as well. But I'm just I like to stream this sort of for posterity. That's what I'm trying to do these days. Is like when I'm just playing games and testing them, to stream it for posterity so that I can potentially it just makes sense to test stuff out on stream. Oh man, I need so many roads. Just connect all the buildings. Okay, we should be accumulating more knowledge, or innovation, I mean. And with that, we're going to want to research another level of farming. How is this? This is happening. Okay, good. We're actually producing herbs now, which is nice. Oh, looks like we're barely producing enough. Should be okay. This might be our first harvest of this or something. So I guess I'll leave that import active. Yeah, okay. Farming our own herbs. I've definitely spread out. Oh, okay, we actually have a lot of clay, so I think we're just gonna put another 10 people in this. Oh, desperately need housing over here, yep. Yep. Alright, let's take a look at the noise map. Still have pretty decent happiness. We can start being a little bit more systematic in our approach to building these roads. Sort of a never-ending struggle. Once we get a little bit once we get a little bit more later in the game, we're just gonna clear huge amounts of land and cover them with roads. What kind of game is Songs of Six? Songs of Six is a city builder. It is an indie city builder, but it's also a sort of like a colony sim. So, like, you have all of these goods that you're producing on the map. And then, you know, like I'm producing, like, I'll give you an example. I have all these grain farms, which, oh my God, we need more workers here. I have all these grain farms producing grain. The grain gets put in this warehouse, and then, like, these bakers turn it into bread, and, like, all these resources degrade at different rates. So, like, the bread decays, like, we lose half of it every year if we don't use it. So that's why, like, I have this, like, pasture over here where I'm producing meat, and the meat is and then there's, like, this herb farm that produces herbs, and then I use herbs and meat to make rations. Rations can be kept for, like, years. So, you know, that's, like, just the food supply for this city. And then there's also a world map. So we're located over here, or is that us? No, where are we? We're somewhere over here. I always get confused here. Wait a second. No, how do I go to my, there we go. Yeah, this is us. Interesting. Yeah. So this is where we're looking on the world map, and, like, we can trade with these people. We can eventually conquer them. We can fight battles with them. We can, you know, I've built these walls so that we can sort of defend the city against sieges. But yeah, and it's an indie game. It has been being developed over the last, like, 5-6 years in open access. It's the UI is a little bit weird, but once you get used to it, it's really cool. And you design all your buildings. You know, you can build cities in a lot of different styles. So there's a whole aesthetic part to it. There's the sort of, like, military part of it. There's a lot going on. It sort of has some Total War style mechanics in terms of the simulation stuff. Like each one of these citizens, like, has a job and is, like, walking around and going from their home to these services, and then moving goods around the map. You know, there's a whole logistics aspect to it. There's a lot going on. It's cool. It's great. Yeah, we're gonna have a shit ton of lumber here. I'm gonna get rid of some woodcutters because we've got a lot of lumber to clear. Okay, that grain, yeah, we need to store the grain, otherwise it'll just rot in the field. I mean, it doesn't degrade that quickly. 10% in the field, 5% in the warehouse. It's a cool game. And it's usually relatively inexpensive on Steam. You need a decent processor to run it, because it's actually, despite the sort of old school graphics, it's actually quite processor intensive because of all of the little dudes running around and stuff. But it's a very well-made simulation. Okay. We still have excess We don't really have excess food, unfortunately, so we're gonna have to... How are we doing on coal? We got lots of coal. We got lots of coal. Okay, now we have a little bit of a buffer for food. Let's go up to 500 people. Yeah, it is. There are similarities between Songs of Six and Anno for sure. Songs of Six has a like the sort of like the sort of like Super Nintendo era graphics can be deceptive. The simulation of like the actors moving around the map is, I think, more robust in this than Anno. Or I don't know if it's more robust. It's mostly that like this developer has chosen to use like a very simple grid-based map and used like sprite-based graphics so that like there's no performance bottleneck with graphics. So it's just pure simulation. And I think that's how I would describe it. Like, I think it's also just because like that's the kind of developer they are, and like this is the kind of graphics they know how to work with or whatever. But I think it's like a deliberate choice to really focus on like the simulation of the city dynamics more than the sort of graphical fidelity. And the Anno series is like pretty graphically. Like, you know, it's in 3D. It's in full 3D. I mean, it depends which version of Anno you get, but yeah, I think it's a little bit, it's different, slightly different focus. But yeah, there's a lot of similarities. And then this has like combat and the Total War mechanics and stuff. I haven't spent a lot of time in Anno though. I've heard good things about some of the more recent ones, but yeah, I'm quite fond of Songs of Six. I think he's buffed the clay pits. Quite understand how we're affording all those drinks. What I need to do is I really am desperately going to need healthcare. Yeah, what's the health situation here? Yeah, our health is really starting to... we're starting to have health issues. So I think our next priority is going to be to research. We need 2 technologies to get health. We need 20 innovation for this. And then we need 30 innovation. We need 50 innovation. Okay, we need to just like put as many people in this lab as possible, and all of our new dudes need to be focused on producing research. What is this consuming? Yeah, okay. Because like this clay pit is producing an enormous amount of clay, or it's just maybe he's toned down the amount of clay that these use. Oh, weird. Did the clay requirement, if usage is enabled, oh, I see. Oh, I see. Okay, so this has like a recipe now. I didn't realize that. So now we're gonna use up all our clay real fast. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Okay, we need to tone this back down to like 20 workers. Then we're gonna have to scale up our clay mine here. Yeah, so we're actually going to... there's something really cool about the fact that like it's grid-based, because like all of the sort of building design stuff happens on a grid. So this interface that I'm using right now is a little bit hard to get used to, but once you get used to it, it's like super fast. And you can actually make templates and like copy paste them as well. So that's fine. Gonna run out of furniture again soon. We need tools is what we need. Mining is not efficient without tools. Okay, but before we do that, we're gonna need to get libraries and, oh, we need aurochs too. Actually, how much? We have a little bit of excess leather. I just need enough to unlock health, basically. I'm gonna need more than that, actually. Let's shut down the brewery for well, how much happiness am I realistically getting from it? A little bit is the answer. I've got excess happiness. Okay, let's just scale up again the population. Take a quick look at housing. Okay, we need more housing over here. And then we're gonna scale up the population and just keep scaling this until we get what we need. And then we really do need to focus on efficiency. We're kind of entering the mid-game phase of this game right now, and this is where things get really hard. Well, I don't know if hard is how I would describe it, but it gets to be challenging because you really have to scale things up sort of in the right order, almost. Like, I still don't have enough clay here. I think developing a drinks industry was a mistake. I don't think you should do early pottery in this game. I've got the workers though, so how are we doing on food? Yikes. Yikes. I guess we just duplicate this. Yeah, this is where it becomes a bit of a scaling nightmare. We just need to make sure I don't brick the city. What kind of city wall? Oh, well, so this is the wall right now. This is the wall that I built so far. If I look at the overlays here, there's a soil overlay, and this is the best agricultural land. This strip of land here is the best agricultural land on the map. And there's an interesting phenomenon where, like, we can put archers on the walls, but the archers have a hard time hitting their targets if there's like forested areas. So all this area here is like clear land, and we're gonna farm over the land so that it's like clear land, so that if any enemies come from the west here, they basically have to walk over this farmland and can be shot at by archers. That's the defensive concept. I don't know if I'll actually make use of it, but it's kind of cool. So I've just kind of built the wall along the edge of the best fertile land. Over here, I don't know what I'm gonna do. This wall is just sort of almost decorative right now. But yeah, the idea is to build a walled city. I don't know that I chose a particularly good map to build a walled city, but in some ways I did. Right, what was I doing? Scaling up our food industry, right. Food industry first and then research. I think that's the only thing we can do. Possibly we have an oversized arms industry too. Oh my god. Running out of furniture again. This is what happens at this stage of this game, is like you're trying to accomplish something, but like every industry needs to be scaled up at once. very difficult. And I probably need to shut down. Oh my god, we're also hitting a happiness cap. That sucks. Oh, that's because, no, that's because there was an accident. Okay. We're still a little bit behind on knowledge points. We've got 13 and we need, was it 20? Yeah. And that's going to unlock the hospital. I don't know that the hospital is actually going to solve our health problem, though. I think we need to get all the way down to medicine, which is another 20 knowledge points. That's okay. Food first. Good thing I built up big reserves of everything. The game also, like, so the game takes place in like a fantasy setting, and there's 8 different races that inhabit this world, and they all have, like, you can have multicultural cities, or you can have sort of, you can build, like, right now I have a humans only city, but I'm probably going to try and introduce, like, some of the races get along with each other, and some of them really don't. Some of them are kind of evil, like there's like evil cannibal races and stuff, and like they don't get along with the nice ones, and then humans are kind of like the jack of all trades. So you can build, like, the different races are good at different economic activities. So you can either, like, as a human city, what I'm trying to do is just lever, like, humans are really good at research, like they can basically become jack of all trades by just researching and getting more efficient at things. But another way to build is to just use, is to have these multicultural cities with these sort of specialized races that are not as focused on research. And we're probably going to try and attract some Dondorians. They're skilled craftsmen and they get along reasonably well with humans. Why is this not building? Really need that clay fit to construct. Okay, it's coming along. There we go. Okay. Yeah, we're having a bit of a problem here. I need to shut down the the brewery. Shut down the brewery. No more beer. No more beer for anyone. And no more pottery. Shut those down for now to free up some workforce. And I need everyone to go into the clay. Now we're talking. Now I have enough innovation points to do this technology. And I need to build a library and get that going. But we are hitting a happiness cap here, so maybe we need to start decorating the city. What's the most cost-effective decoration that we can do? We don't really have any excess goods to distribute to people to make them happy. There's not much we can do in terms of services. I think probably torches. Yeah. So I guess we just start placing some torches in our most populated areas. We got to get our happiness up somehow to attract more immigrants. Like, I'm not doing this, I'm not building particularly efficiently because I've been trying to sort of build this city organically, but you can also like copy huge areas and paste them and stuff. Like you can copy whole districts and paste them. People build gigantic cities. You can have like 10,000s. I mean, not on the scale of like SimCity 4, but you can have like, you know, a city of 10 or 15,000 in this game. That where everything is like simulated, so it's pretty cool. Putting some torches around on some of our streets, trying to get that. Oh my god, the satisfaction is just not climbing. What is going on? Okay, they're losing access to something. Oh, the drinks. Yeah, the drinks are killing them. Okay, well, we just need to keep building torches. I think that's the only solution right now. And everything we build has a maintenance cost, so our resource production needs to keep up. Like buildings need to be maintained, or they degrade and they stop serving their function. So this early to mid part of the game is really a balancing act of developing new technologies and kind of increasingly complex production chains. But if you overbuild, you will fuck yourself over in terms of this is not helping. I'm not getting enough satisfaction out of these torches. Yeah, shutting off the brewery was a real building the brewery to begin with was a problem. Okay, we shut down masonry is the next step. Like basically what I'm having to do right now, because I've overbuilt this, I've made my industry way too complex, is I'm having to kind of backtrack and shut down certain industries that are not contributing enough. Right. What I need now is the library. I think I have enough workers to get the library, to unlock the hospital, which will give me some more. Do I even... Okay, I need 50. Okay. So I barely have enough. Okay, I'm producing enough bows. I'm gonna need... Do I have any excess innovation? Yeah, okay, we're gonna use every last bit of innovation to make sure that we get... Oh no. I need the Auroch pastures. It's possible that the whole ration... Well, no, the ration industry is helping us for sure. What's going on here? We're slowly accumulating rations. This is good. Okay. Let's build a library for like 20 people. I don't know if we have the resources necessary to do this, but we're gonna find out real quick. Yeah, we have what we need. We have what we need. Oh god, yeah, these are really annoying to configure. Like, this is not gonna fit 20 people. Actually... Okay, let's just let's just rethink this here. I need 20 people, and I'm just gonna have to size the building to fit 20 people. That's 10. That's 20. We need a supporting wall in the middle, and then we need some carpets to make them want to actually work here or whatever. I guess the carpets make them more efficient. Something like that. This is not a very elegant design, but the other thing is that the humans don't really like working in a lot of the heavy industries, which is part of the problem that I'm having here. They're very unhappy with being miners and manual laborers. They like to work in labs and libraries and shit. So building this should give me a little bit of a boost on that front. Now, interesting. Okay, so we can actually get a little bit of... Okay, we can double this once we've actually... Oh, that's great. I do like the fact that they've changed that. Okay. We don't need to use the... How much is this producing? Target, plus 25. So this should tick up slowly, I think. But we will need to give them access to fur. We want to get more than that. Is it ticking up? Yeah, it is. Okay, good. Okay, we have tons of fur actually stockpiled, so I'm just gonna burn through it. Oh, we have a tourist. Well. Oh my god, minus 21? That's bad. Okay, no. We have some serious problems here. Okay, we're gonna have to really troubleshoot this city. I often, this is like, I would say around 500 citizens is like sort of where a lot of cities die, and I'm kind of confronting that issue right now. So what we need here is workload. We need to figure out... Okay, we have 3 deliverymen here who are doing nothing. Why would there even be deliverymen in this warehouse? That's fine. Yeah, there's not a lot to be gained. Not a lot to be gained in terms of workers. I guess I'm just gonna shut down stuff that I... temporarily, that I don't need urgently. Oh yeah, there's a lot of extra stone miners because I stopped producing masonry. Let's just go down to like... Well, we need a bit more than that, I think, but like 5 of those. There. Needing to reallocate workers in order to survive this mid-game mess. Okay, so I really do need 20 more of that. I don't know that this is going to be enough. We needed 50. And this looks like it's giving us 49. We'll see. Oh my god. Am I using... I wonder if I have any extra research that I'm not using. Oh, I haven't built... Oh my god, I've unlocked guards. Okay, I can get more happiness. Never mind. Okay, this whole process I've just done is like not even... Okay, alright, let's build a guard post or 3. I'll put one, like, here. Actually, 1 guard post should probably give us enough loyalty to get some more citizens. Maybe? This should be ticking up, yes. I wonder. Let's put another one over here. God, they're so big. Annoying. I guess. I'm just gonna have to put it here. Oh, fuck. Bad news. This is why everything's falling apart. We have no stone over here. How did I burn through? Oh, this is not... Okay. Well, that's a big mistake. A lot of things to manage. Okay. Are you... No. What the fuck, man? Okay, remove this. No. It's like I'm like almost out of metal. Oh, no, this is working. Yes, it's working. He's getting stone. Okay, good. Good, good, good. So, this should be like that. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's good. We need more of these guys. We need to repair these buildings really quickly or they're gonna break. I don't even know if I have enough janitors to do it. How many haulers? Okay, we're good. We're good. Go up to 5 workers, please. We also have a shortage of wood here. Unavailable bow. No, they've got wood. Oh my god. Oh, the city is going into a death spiral. The city is totally going into a death spiral. I am kind of tempted to do a restart on the same or similar map and kind of rethink what we've done here, because like this is what happens. Like basically getting to this point is relatively easy, getting past it not so much. And I think what I would say, if I look at, like, because I can probably fix this, I can probably salvage it, but it's going to be really tedious. And I think there's a few things that are problematic here. I think we're making too many weapons. Like I wanted to try out this cavalry unit thing with these new pastures, but like that whole industry is, yeah, I'm producing a ton of weapons that are specialized for like my cavalry. Am I even using these shields? Yeah, I have a hugely overdeveloped arms industry, which is a problem. So this is using up a lot of workers. Let's just take a look here. 23 haulers. Yeah, lots of weapons make sense if you have aggressive neighbors or plan a conquest. I mean, I am planning a conquest. I was just planning to, I guess I was trying to test to see in the current version of the game how diverse an economy I can build. And typically the answer is not very diverse until you research certain key technologies. And probably, I'm just looking through what I've researched, what I think I don't need to have researched. Like, most of the research I've done, I think the research I've done is relatively smart. I could probably forgo. It's more a matter of the scaling of the industries. Yeah, I don't think I researched anything particularly dumb. I think the industries are not scaled correctly. I can almost salvage it though. What do I do? What do I do? So what's causing the problem here? Okay, we're getting a little bit of satisfaction from these guards. if I'd been more diligent about putting torches in my city from the start, would have helped. I think the decoration is more important than I'm giving it credit for. I also could have built the city out of stone. I think that's probably worth it, because so every race prefers, this is the most interesting part of this city builder to a certain degree, is like you've got these like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 races, 6 of which are playable and 2 of which are like secret races that you unlock that, I don't know, I've never really played with them before. But all of the races have different preferences in terms of what building material you use. Some of them prefer organic shaped buildings. Some of them prefer like square grid type construction. So you build your city to accommodate the inhabitants that you want to have. And then those inhabitants are good at producing certain resources. They get along better with certain races than others. I think it's probably worth building with stone from the start for humans. But killing the drinks industry, this is the problem. One of the problems is I built a brewery industry really early. Yeah, I'm also running out of food. That's what's going on. Yeah, this is turning into a... I do have a pretty solid stockpile. Can I get this to repair? I don't even know. Okay, I need to lock these in. Is hauler employing? Oof. Okay, this is repairing. Okay. Maybe we survive. Do I have the research I need, at least? For what I was trying to do with the health thing? Yeah, I don't even think I can do this, though. Interesting. So this aspect of the game has not really changed. This, like, cliff that you hit when you're at 500 population. Do I have what I need to build? If I can build like one... If I can manage to get like one position built... Oh, they require tools. Which I can do. Okay. I'm gonna try and salvage this, and then... I'm gonna try and salvage... like stabilize this city, but I think I am going to do a restart because this is something that that I find often happens too, is that I tend to like get a little impatient about getting the city built and not like design it well, but like the design is actually, oh yeah, here we go, we have a battle. That's going to total our fucking... Okay, how many guys do you have? Oh no, this is not a battle. This is one of my neighbors trying to basically blackmail me. Decline. I'll fight him if I need to. I don't think he'll actually attack though. Oh yeah, they allowed passage to a... Oh, 30 soldiers? Okay, I can fight these guys. Maybe I can like... make a bunch of money from the battle and buy a bunch of gems to make them happy. That's a temporary solution to a non-temporary problem. Okay. My army is still pretty well supplied. What are those? Okay, wait a second. Okay, we have archers. What's the map looking like here? Just move everybody up here. Okay. Give me... These guys are cavalry. Put the cavalry over here. Archers here. Archers here. And infantry in the middle. Okay, we'll play out this battle. That'll be fun. The cavalry can move up there. The infantry can move up to like here. These archers can go over here, and these. There we go. And it's no. Right click. There we go. Thank you. These guys can move up there. Okay. They have... What's going on here? I gotta figure out... These guys are... Just have swords and leather armor. Leather armor and swords. Ooh, steel armor. They're gonna be hard to kill. They're all Garthemi, though. They're probably a little better trained than my infantry. You need to adjust the architecture to your specific mix of inhabitants. Exactly. The architecture, the decorations, like everything you put in your city, you sort of adjust to the specific inhabitants. And and humans are like not necessarily the easiest race to play as. Oh fuck. Okay, we need to get like a little cavalry charge going on here. We got guys incoming. I spread out too much. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, you shoot them. You shoot them. Cavalry is going to form up over here. I don't think they have any... Yeah, this is actually perfect. Okay, they're doing their thing. I'm gonna actually try and attack this unit here with the cavalry if I can. Wow, okay, they're getting hit for sure. Who are you attacking? You're attacking them. Wow. That went a little better than I was expecting. Move those archers back. And we're gonna do a cavalry charge. That should work. Charge into these guys' flank. And let's reform the cavalry over here. Okay, we have incoming down here. Attack. You are going to go and intercept them. Who are you shooting at? These guys. Okay. Cavalry is moving over here. This battle has gotten a little messy, but looks like it's all going well. We're basically just chasing these ones down now. They are going for the throne, though. Why are they not getting injured as much? Are they going for the throne? Is that what they're doing? No, they're just kind of doing a thing. Where's my cavalry? I feel like I should regroup. Put the cavalry to chase after these guys. They're faster. Are they, though? The Garthemis are really fast. You go back. Maybe that was a mistake. Oh no, they're coming back around. Okay, maybe the cavalry doesn't go through the woods. They're coming back. And you can keep shooting at them. Okay, good. And these archers can... I guess... Yeah, they're starting to scatter. They've just got this one formation down here that I don't seem to have broken. Okay. I'm going to charge into the flank of my own men here, but that's okay. I am not finding the cavalry to be... I'm finding the cavalry to be a little bit underwhelming. They're hiding in the woods. Do they have bows or something? No. They're just hiding. I'm not finding these cavalry charges are particularly effective. These are the guys that are heavily armored too. I think he's made some adjustments to the AI so that they're actually like hiding in the woods. That's new to me. Are they trying to go for my throne? Okay, fuck off. Can you... No, we're not going to do that. Maybe don't be in guard mode or something. Gotta run these guys down. Oof. Blue blood is Garthemi blood, I think. These guys are still battling it out. Okay. Okay, that unit is broken. So, these guys are going to run down to defend the throne here. Where's the... Yeah, run. There we go. These guys are just going to charge after them. There we go. Okay. Okay, now form up over here. Okay, so that was actually... Okay, we won, we won. I broke the formation and we won. Amazing. Amazing, I get a bunch of loot now. The loot I can sell to maybe get some, I don't know, gems or something. Yeah, this is not very useful stuff. I don't need the slaves, but I get money too, right? Do I get money? Yes. Okay, 200,000 dinars. Do I have any extra warehouse space? Probably. Where's my, like, old warehouse? I'm gonna need more than that. Yeah, this city is really in rough shape. Yeah, that was a fun little battle. I feel like I'm like can almost stabilize this city, but it's not looking great. I'm kind of tempted to do a restart. One of the things I did that I think I managed pretty well here is I have this ration supply that's quite good. I would actually want to increase this maybe. And I think I was a little bit... This is not... Yeah, this is always a challenge, getting enough warehouse workers on the grain. This whole part of the city is relatively well put together. I'm just kind of shocked at how many bakers I need. That being said... Actually, this one needs to be repaired. This one doesn't. Let's just demolish this. I need the workers anyway. I don't think it's doing anything that... I can just put these workers in there. I was losing efficiency because the building was degrading. Am I producing enough food? Yeah. Okay, that was the move. Now I've got a little bit more workers. I just don't think we can get... Okay, the law thing is ticking up a lot. That is helping. I think I've stabilized it. Now I just need those tools for the physician. That's right. Let's get the tools for the physician. I'm going to switch over the smithy. Switch this over to tools temporarily. I probably should have gone for tools before building all those weapons. Tools are super important. What the hell is this? Now, is my neighbor going to attack me? That would be interesting. I think if my neighbor attacks me, it's pretty much game over. It's certainly not game over. I can certainly salvage this. I just don't think I built this. I don't think I designed the city well enough, and I'm gonna have to demolish huge parts of it and rebuild it constantly. Oh, what do I do? What do I do? I think the walls are not terribly useful. I gotta say, having the cavalry was kind of nice in that battle, though. Having the cavalry was kind of nice. I think having a very small force of cavalry... I don't think I'm... Like, in terms of the weapons industry, like, let me just see here. I've got... God, I've got 369 leather armor out of 60. Okay. Oh yeah, I've got so much of this crap that I just don't need. Like, I could shut down all those industries. I'm not even using half of these shields. I mean, you do need to scale this industry up, but my idea was to kind of like accumulate weapons over time. And have an easier time like fielding an army later, but I feel like it's bad strategy in this game. I feel like you should really only make what you need in terms of all that stuff, and like with the exception of food, you need large stockpiles of food, but I don't necessarily think that overproducing weapons in the early part of the game is a good idea. Am I overproducing clothing? Probably underproducing clothing at this point, yeah. Like, I shouldn't be producing pottery at all. I shouldn't be producing masonry at all. Overproducing coal. And I'm actually burning through my lumber supply. Yeah, this would be very hard to fix. This would be very hard to fix. What about... wonder if I just used bread for the rations. Let me take a look at that recipe. So it's 6 bread for 2 rations. You get efficiencies from concentrating everything in a smaller number of industries. Maybe I try and salvage it. Maybe I try and salvage it. Okay, let's just take a look here. See if we can get some more dudes in. We have a surplus of food. Did this all get repaired? Man, distributing resources to these janitors is a real challenge. Unavailable stone. Oh, I'm just out of stone, straight up. Okay, well. The real problem here, part of the reason I kind of don't feel like salvaging this map is because I'm just way too spread out. Like, there's something that happens in this game where, like, what I'm doing is I'm producing grain over here, and then I'm turning it into bread over here. So this is all very efficient, right? But then I've got all these workers, like, like, I've got 6 workers hauling bread from here to here. Is there a way I can make that more efficient? I can use these loading stations and unloading stations, but I think they're... Just see what this says here. Loading stations move very large quantities of selected resources to... Yeah, this is not going to help. The transport is best places, the resources you want to move, not their destination. Yes, we would load the bread and distribute it over here, but we're just, like, we don't need to move. Maybe this is more efficient labor-wise, but less efficient. It also uses, like, livestock and metal, and yeah, it costs a bunch of stuff. Haulers might work. Haulers... Oh, I'm using haulers. What am I talking about? Yeah. I don't think these are necessary. I don't think they make sense at the scale of the city that I'm operating. I'm also operating a nursery, which, like... Is that even doing anything? Am I even getting any benefit from that? Yeah, okay, 14% of our population is native born, so that actually sort of is helping. But it's not a very efficient way of getting... Like, all of these... Basically, like, we're looking at humans here, and all these different panels are different sources of fulfillment. Like, the overall bar here shows you the broad fulfillment for the category, and the other stuff show, like, you can look at the detail of, like, where you're getting that from, and some of these buildings can be upgraded to fill more of this capacity. Yeah, big deal getting the it's a big deal getting access to law, that's for sure. Maybe we get some Dondorians in the city from the start. Maybe that's the move. Okay, let's save this. And I am going to do a quick restart. I know there's a lot of people, you know, there's a few people watching, and I want to, I think we're going to go back to the same, like, map seed. It's going to be slightly different. And I think it might interest people to see a restart as well. It's a little bit disappointing in a certain sense, but I think, like, basically when you look at the map, when you settle on your map here, and when you decide to build a city, there's certain resources that you can kind of harvest almost anywhere. Like, this map has a huge amount of lumber, so we don't really need to think about lumber when we're deciding where to settle and where to build. And the closer we build everything together, the less labor it costs us in terms of logistics, and that's, like, a pretty key part of the whole map. So realistically, we need to have a source of... if we're gonna not trade for resources, which is, I was doing this kind of, like, sort of, it might be worth trading even, but we need to have a source of clay, we need to have a source of ore, so that's actually reasonable, a reasonable distance. This is a slightly different seed than the previous map that I was on. I didn't save that map, unfortunately, so there is a way to, like, resettle without restarting your city too now. But I kept the save, so we can always go back. The gems are kind of not important, but it's mainly the main things we need to at the start are stone, clay, ore, and then fertile land. And unfortunately on this map, the fertile land is not near the other resources. I can, let me look at a couple of, let me regenerate a couple times. Regenerate a couple times, and I think I like the idea of getting Dondorians in the city from the start. Okay, this is interesting. We still have this problem with the stone on at the ass end of the map. Maybe we can work with that. All the clay is here. That's enough ore to get a small metal industry going. What's the fertility look like? I think I can live with just clay, ore, and Maybe I trade for stone. Maybe I trade for some stuff. Okay, there's some decent soil near the river. Over here. It's not as good as the soil I had in the last one. I think the metal industry is actually less logistically intensive. Maybe I build... Oh, what's that? Okay, that's neat. There's some hyper fertile land along the river there. This area here is the key farming area. Maybe I build a human settlement here with the clay and the farming. And then a Dondorian settlement near the ore. Maybe we do like a multicultural city. That could be cool. Yeah, that'll be neat. That'll be neat. I just need to spend a little bit more time designing things so that they make sense. Yeah, that could be cool. This is... Okay, so we would get our wood here and maybe start like a little carpenter up there. Yeah, let's start with humans and Dondorians. Maybe we even get some Cretonians to do the farming. Clay mining is a problem. Clay mining is always a problem. Because the only ones who are like clay mining are the Garthemes. And they really don't get along with humans. We could take Garthemi slaves. That's the other thing. You can enslave other peoples if you want and make them do the work that your people don't want to do. That's a choice that you can make in this game. I tend to not like doing that because it's a lot of micromanagement and but it can work. It can be an effective strategy. Can I live with the stone being off in the south of the map? Yeah, sure. Why not? Okay. We want to actually play the game and not just think about playing it. So we're going to land. Why don't we just land near... Turn off this filter. This is where we're going to farm, mainly. We got clay here. Oh, there's actually... This is great. Okay, there's a little pile of wild herbs there, so we won't need to research that for longer. Yeah, and then what's this? This is cotton, and we've got some hunting that we can do to survive in the early part of the game. Okay, these guys are kind of dangerous. They can kill our people, so I think we're gonna... Okay, let's settle. We settle by the herbs. It's not a bad idea. Okay, we settle by the herbs. We are going to build a small warehouse. Maybe we build a larger warehouse to start. Okay. That's fine for now. Okay. So we want a warehouse, a small warehouse to start because we need to store our starting resources. We start with some rations. I don't actually care about storing the stone, maybe. It only degrades at 1% per year. Okay, we're going to store the rations. We're going to store the grain. And we're going to store the livestock. Okay, that's all stored. We're going to build a hearth and a well. I gotta be careful not to build over that. Wild damn it. There we go. Okay, let's just set this up for forage. Okay, so we're gonna get a ration maker going pretty much from the start. For that, we're gonna need furniture. We also need, for our food supply, we're gonna have some meat and fur that we can store. And we also have some eggs down there. We're gonna need some housing. I should probably right away start upgrading stuff to stone rather than doing the thing where I build everything out of mud. I think that was a bit of a problem last time as well. So, yeah. Okay. We need to kill the Smilodons so that we don't waste their meat. Okay. And we're going to build an Entelodont pasture for last time we did 8 workers. I think that was pretty good. 7, 8 workers. Perfect. There, now we've gotten rid of that Smilodon patch. Okay, we need more lumber. There we go. How are we doing on food? We have 8 days of food left. Okay, did we get the harvest done here? No, we did not. Okay, give me more people. There we go. We managed to get the wild grain before. We can only harvest the wild grain at the end of the summer. Okay. They are working in the pasture, producing meat, or they'll start producing meat soon. I should probably put everyone in here just to get the livestock in the pasture before the livestock degrades. There we go. Livestock in pasture. Go back down to 8 workers. And we only have 3 days of food. So probably can still harvest some stuff off the map. The grain is all the way over here. That's annoying. Mushrooms up here. See if we can get to the mushrooms on time. Because the mushrooms can be kept relatively long time. Yep. Okay. Now we need to get all those mushrooms in storage. Okay. Now we have lots of food. Okay. We have 17 days of food. Okay. So these animals are going to take a while to mature and start producing meat. But we managed to preserve a good part of our livestock herd. I'm going to... I kind of want to wall this off so that I don't accidentally... Let's build a little fence here. So that we don't accidentally build over... the wild herbs. There we go. And next thing we need to do is get carpentry going. I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive on like roads and decorations this time because I find that it's really hard to come back and do this after the fact. Plus, it looks nicer. Plus, it looks nicer. I can actually use some of the space in here. I think we need furniture for that. Yep. Okay. But let's at least do like torches and stuff. Maybe I'll try and like build a little bit slower. I think that's probably part of my problem. Let's put a torch. Maybe like opposite corners. We'll figure this out after these. These are going to have to be upsized anyway. And then we need to figure out what we're doing in terms of... I think we'll get some Dondorians right away. We need a big carpenter. And the Dondorians are better carpenters than humans. You can get a lot of efficiency just by keeping some Dondorians around. Oh, I really do need to start building with stone, but I guess we get it built first, then we upgrade it afterwards. Can you put bakeries closer to a populated area? Yeah, you can. I mean, one thing I could do is I could have the bakeries, I could distribute the bakeries around my territory, and then I could have hauler workers that are hauling the grain to the bakeries. But it's hard to figure out in this game what's more efficient. Like, is it more efficient to have the bakery close to the grain and then move the bread, or is it more efficient to, like, I think that different goods have different carry weights, maybe? Not sure. Oh, you know what? They all weigh the same. One unit of every good weighs the same, but it's all about the input. So let's look at that, actually. That's an interesting question. I think for bread, there's no difference because it's 7 grain to produce 7 bread. Like 1 grain turns into 1 bread. So whether you move the grain to the bread or the bread to the people, it's the same amount of hauling labor. Theoretically, I think. But there are other instances, for example, where we would be moving, like if we look at, for example, wood. 2 wood turns into 0.5. 2 wood turns into 0.5 furniture. So definitely better to be moving the furniture, not the wood. If I'm understanding things correctly. Okay. So we're starting to produce carpentry. Or furniture, rather. Eventually, I'm gonna need a place to store that. This is good wood cutting land. Build a relatively large warehouse here to store the carpentry. And then I'm going to get some Dondorians right away. That's fine for now. Oh, right, Dondorians. Now Dondorians don't mind living in noisy areas, so... let's build a stone houses for the Dondorians. They don't mind living near... in fact, they like living in noisy areas. That's their thing. So, shut this down. Build me my stone house for Dondorians. Okay. Do I start a new build every time I stream? I was working on another build. I'll show you quickly the other one if you want. Let me just make a new. I got to a point in my other city where I felt like the city was kind of brick, to be honest. So I just restarted because I'll load the other one for a second here just to show you where I was at. I don't know when you came on. It doesn't take long to load games in this, so. But the city, I'm like playing on the same map and trying a slightly different build. Like this city is getting towards what I would consider kind of the mid game, but it's got a lot of problems. It's like we basically had to turn off all of our lumber production to sort of survive. I'm overproducing a bunch of weapons. My logistics is like all over the place. Like I've got bread over here. I've got the rest of my industry over here. Like a lot of these industries could be moved. Like a lot of this stuff could all be moved to one area, and it's just gonna take like longer it's gonna take longer to fix that, I think, than it will to just like start afresh. Or this is what I tell myself. Okay, let's get this warehouse loaded up with construction resources. And how... okay, I can upgrade. Room upgrade? No, I need to do... we go to structures. We go to stone. Convert. Okay, I'm gonna need more stone than that. But yeah, we're gonna make all of this stone. Let's just do that now. Because the Dondorians are not gonna be happy if we put them in mud housing. They hate that shit. Yeah, okay, we fill up. We prep a bunch of stone there. I've got 8 days of food left. Structures, stone, convert, right? Yep. Okay. Like that. Grab more stone. Please, thank you. And 8 days of food. Boom, okay. There we go. So stone buildings for the Dondorians. Let's give them some sort of nice stuff up here as well. Oh yeah, this house. We're gonna reserve this house for Dondorians. They don't love stone, but We'll eventually move the Dondorians into the mountain, but for now we want things to be close by. Like, we're not that far. We'll eventually move the carpenter into the mountain over here. They like to live in the mountain, ideally. But I want to keep it pretty close to where we are right now. Let's give them... Let's pave this. And they basically just want... They just want torches, Dondorians. They just want torches. Wait a second here. Boom. Like that. And we can even give them, like, we can even put some benches and shit. Let's see here. Yeah, put a bench, like, there. I think it goes the other way. Like that. I think that's how it goes. Put a bench down for the humans as well, down here. And the benches require carpentry, so let's grab 10 Dondorians. And we'll line up 10 jobs for carpenters. They like working as carpenters, and they're better at it than humans. Now, that's going to fuck our food supply. But we're almost... Yeah, it's day 2 of summer, actually. We should be good. We can just go grab mushrooms, because Dondorians like mushrooms, too. If enough Dondorians arrive... I just need them to harvest. Oh, they're doing this again. Yeah, sure. Okay, go. All right, that's good. What are all the humans doing? Oh, are they working in the warehouse or something? They probably are, yeah. Okay, shut this warehouse. There we go. There's my workers. Never played this game, but saw your stream the other day. I checked it out on Steam. The main video seems to be oriented towards large-scale war with thousands of soldiers. Is that late game? Yeah. It's, there's basically, I would say there's almost like 3 games in one in this game. There's the city building parts, there's the battle parts, and there's the like sort of total war world map conquest part, which is this here. In my opinion, the best part of this game is the city building experience. They're all related. They're all tied in together. In the sense that like you need to harvest resources in your city to field an army and conquer other places and things like that. Like they're all tied in together, but I would say that the most developed part of the game, the most interesting part of the game as well, is the city building part. But they're both it's a very interesting game. It's got a lot of good things going on in it, I think. Okay. All right, we're starting to accumulate furniture. So we want to build up a supply of rations. That was a good strategy from last time. In order to get we get a bonus for having basically a stockpile of food to happiness, so it's really worth pursuing that. Who's better at making rations, Dondorians or humans? The thing, the Dondorians are really better at like so much of this stuff. Let's take a look. They're better carpenters. Yeah, they're 20% better carpenters than humans. What about rations? Are they actually better at rations than humans? They are indeed 20% better. Okay. So I guess we want more Dondorians. See, this is what I should be doing. I should be like expanding my infrastructure as I build the city so that I'm not just randomly making big messes that I have to solve later. You can also use like damn, not famous this game, but I like it. Keep going. Yeah, this game is it's not that well known. It's had its moments. Like sometimes it'll get like showcased by some like big YouTuber, and then like a bunch of people will download it and pay and stuff. Like there is actually if anyone is watching is interested in trying the game, there is I think a free demo of some kind. I never played the free demo. I just bought it. I got a reasonably good deal on it, and but there is I want to say there's a free demo. Or maybe it's like a trial or something. I don't know. It's interesting. Like there's a couple of ways you can sort of try the game. Okay, let's put a little ration maker here. I'm not gonna overbuild warehouses for now. We'll just store some rations. How close? Oh yeah, the big problem is the meat storage. I need the meat to be stored closer to the rations for sure. Otherwise, the humans will just eat it. I can forbid them from eating it. Did Dondorians like meat? I can't remember. Yes, they do. Let's not worry too much about it. Okay. Either way, though, this needs to be... There needs to be a road here. Let's take a diagonal road here. Something like this. Yeah, we need a road. Yeah, I'd say try the demo. I'm probably gonna make a sort of getting started tutorial for this game. You know, sort of surviving the first phase of the game. I did actually make one for a previous version of the game. And it's not entirely out of date, actually. I just kind of want to make another one because I feel like it's gonna be out of date. Okay, let's do. Yeah, if you poke around on my YouTube channel, you'll find like a pretty old tutorial for this, but like honestly, for the basics of playing the game, it'll get you set up. Like in terms of, it sort of explains like how the interface works and how you build and stuff like that. And there's a lot of like balance changes that have happened, but the sort of core gameplay loops, I think it explains pretty well. And it's like I don't know, it's like a 15 or 20 minute guide. Yeah, this is very much in the same genre as Factorio and RimWorld. Yeah, I have not played those games very much, but or at all actually. But I'm familiar with them. I've like watched other people play them. I'm familiar with how they sort of tick. So okay, we're getting our rations industry going here. That's the idea. I'm gonna gradually shut this. This is our temporary our sort of temporary warehouse. Yes. Anything missing from this? No. Yeah, we're gonna need a little bit more storage for the herbs. But yeah, no, my old tutorial will probably do perfectly fine for just like learning the basics of the game, and then as you start to understand that part, you'll you know, I see what I've done here. This is not a whatever. Okay. Yeah, I really do think it's better to take the time and build the decorations and stuff as the city expands. I'm just preventing myself from accidentally building over this valuable wild resource here. Oh, I'm going to need a janitor, big time. If we don't build a janitor, we're gonna be in rough shape. Yeah. Have I ever played Dwarf Fortress? No, I have not, but again, I've sort of watched people play it, and like this is very, it's interesting. Yeah, I think if you're someone who's interested in like Factorio, RimWorld, and Dwarf Fortress, but have never played them, this game is more recent, and I think the developer who made this game sort of explicitly set out to make a game that was like has better underlying systems than those games. I don't know if he succeeded because I haven't played those games, so I can't compare it. But I do know that like the developer of this game. I think is sort of like a genius coder. So his game is like super efficient and like it like barely ever crashes. And like it's like super stable and it runs super fast and it's like it simulates a lot of things without like becoming unstable, which is super cool. Anyway, that's what I've heard. That is what I've heard. Right. So we have a janitor now. Why is the janitor not fixing the things? Oh, yeah, just fix the things, please. Fix the things. Jesus. Really must not forget to. Oh, I'm out of wood. That's why. Chop down some wood. We gotta get a woodcutter going because we can't. Chopping down wood manually is not efficient. Oh, right. I need more Dondorians. Let's go 20 humans, 20 Dondorians. Oh god, they're turning bread? No, we need to change the recipe. There we go. Okay. Now we're producing rations. Good. Okay, everybody stop eating meat. You're all becoming vegetarians. So that I can make rations from your meat. Which I guess is not being vegetarian because... Okay, are these adults? Are these animals all adults? Yes, mostly. There we go. Okay, so we've got the same kind of scale of ration production as last time. Now I just need to get, now is time to get the food supply going. Like, this is all much tighter together here. Food supply than wood supply is the move. Okay, we'll farm this area along the river here. Yeah. I should think about putting a road bridge that goes, like, down here at some point if I ever want to get down there. Maybe I just build it now. Yeah, let's just build it now. Try and make it look nice. Okay, I'm not going to go any further than that because I don't want my janitors to have to, like, repair and maintain a road that goes halfway across the map. But, oh, also, kill those guys, get their meat and eggs, and then we're going to farm over where their habitat is because that's how we do things. Okay. This is soil 90% moisture. Yeah, this is not quite as good as the farm that we had in the last one efficiency wise, but it's marginally worse, but it's not that big a deal. Yeah, it's interesting. Like you're sort of forced to ask yourself questions in this game, like you're sort of forced to ask yourself questions in this game like, am I better off building farms closer to where my people live, or am I better off building farms on better soil? And I think last time I also probably went for the better soil, but didn't really think about the logistics implications, because you can easily lose, you know, a pretty substantial amount of your resources just moving them around the map. Like, you can lose a lot of efficiency by doing that. What's going on with the oh, there's only 7 carpenters? Okay, there we go. We've got more room for furniture. Yeah. So should think about a place where we should do a textile industry as well. I guess we just mix in the farms down here. I don't really want to get into yeah, we can do some textile farms over here. I should be able to have enough food. I guess I'll probably dig into my ration supply if I'm not careful. But let's start accumulating grain. Or at least clearing the land. Four days of food. Oh, there's more mushrooms over here. Oh, there's just like a tiny bit. Okay. We could also do textiles up here. What's the soil and moisture situation? Yeah, maybe we'll do textiles up here. And eventually these industries are going to be moved probably into the mountain. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. And most importantly, we're not going to produce anything that we don't absolutely need. Because that's what screwed me over last time, is just trying to do too many things at once. It's not like it's impossible, it just becomes like micromanagement hell. And when your city is a larger scale, you can kind of spam things more easily because you have like larger populations that you can play with. Oh, I'm glad to hear you're enjoying the stream. Yeah, I'm trying to stream more often these days. I'm gonna be working on some SimCity 4 content. Get back on that tomorrow. I've got things on the way with that, and then other games that I'm playing. Thing is, like, I find I want to make SimCity 4 content, but I don't. I'll probably start doing a little bit of SimCity 4 streaming, but I have played a lot of that game over the years, so I kind of don't want to burn out on playing that game because the SimCity 4 videos that I make are sort of the main thing that keeps my channel going in terms of views and actually generates a little bit of revenue. So I've been trying to like renew that content so that I can continue to like, so that I can continue to develop the channel. But I also want to stream other games and kind of gauge people's interest for them live. And so I tend to want to stream the games that I sort of feel like playing. And then, in the hopes that someone kind of take an interest in the games and that there's some kind of viable thing there. Why does SimCity, SimCity 5, no, it's all about SimCity 4. SimCity, what was it? It came out in 2013 or whatever. Yeah, it was a total flop. Didn't work. They fucked it up. And it all really has to do, the SimCity, the release of SimCity, the 2013 SimCity, resulted in like the CEO of EA, was it the CEO, or I can't remember, like one of their like senior executives resigned because of how bad that release was. Like they ruined the franchise and it was not salvageable, and it never has been. And then you have City Skylines, which I've never been particularly into, but City Skylines is like undeniably a good game, I think. I think it'd be silly to sort of like claim that it's a bad game. It's just very different from SimCity 4. SimCity 4 has a more interesting simulation of like the demographics of a city, and there's a real advantage to playing these games that have really minimal graphical requirements. They're able to simulate things like once you get into like really complex 3D graphics, it doesn't really matter if you have a racehorse PC. Like the games become these sort of big unwieldy simulations, and they're not as granular. It's kind of hard to describe. I don't know if it makes sense what I'm saying when I say granular, but like this game, because it uses simple 2D graphics, can simulate the everyday actions of every single citizen without like creating bottlenecks between the processor and the graphics card and stuff like that. And I'm no expert in like computer science or whatever, but my sense is that the minute you start to create these big unwieldy big unwieldy games, you end up with a lot of performance issues, and you end up kind of having to scale back what you do. I think vanilla Cities Skylines to this day can't really build cities of larger than 1 million people, which SimCity 4 can do, and it's a 23-year-old game, and that all has to do with the sort of graphics and the complexities of 3D worlds and stuff like that. Okay, this is all relatively well put together. We're gonna wait till we need food. We need food. Do I hunt for the food? I hunt for the food. I might as well hunt these onks over here, and they produce... Is it called cotton? Fiber, it's called. They produce fiber, so presumably wool. I guess it's wool. So we might as well plant the wool. We're not going to farm it yet, but we might as well plant it. Because once it's planted, it's kind of planted forever, so. And that we were going to do up here. Oh, I told him not to eat meat. You may eat meat again. Okay, we're gonna just shut this farm down. It's gonna sit there kind of fallow, but at least we planted the resources. So we can develop a little textile industry up there later. I won't build a road up there yet, but I will soon. Kind of leading towards all of our manufacturing being in this area and then gradually migrating over here. SimCity 4 to this date is a simulator that supports the largest scales. Yeah. Make sure to have a small rotation of video games to balance continuity and not burning out. Yeah, I think that's exactly what I'm saying. It's like, for me, like what I'm hoping I can do is increase. I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to be like a professional YouTuber right now, although I am looking at ways of potentially supplementing my income with it because, and this is all like, you know, I don't like to get into this stuff too much, but it is kind of interesting. I sort of realized, like, I hadn't really been doing YouTube for the last few years, just on and off. I would make a video, but like, I still get like a small amount of money monthly from the old SimCity 4 videos, if you can believe it. And I just sort of realized, like, it's actually a really good source of passive income. And my day job, for a while, a few years ago, when I sort of scaled back my YouTube stuff, my day job was, well, I was working at a place that I really liked, and I was really enjoying it. And so I sort of, you know, I was really involved in the job that I was doing, but I've not had as good a situation like in my regular job. Like, I'm fine. Like, I have, you know, I have my rent money and I'm able to save money and stuff like that. But basically, I'm not super thrilled with my day job right now, and so it becomes more tempting to sort of look for ways to potentially monetize these kind of hobbies. And so I'm trying to get the SimCity 4 content going again because that's what works on the channel. I also am considering doing some other like live YouTube projects that would involve creating other channels. Actually, it'll be separate, totally separate from the video game stuff. But the apartment where I live right now, fiber could be flax, hemp, cotton, silk. Yeah, the region could easily quadruple its population, develop the same way. Hal Jackie already exceeded 60 million people. Yeah, I saw that. I did one video with Hal Jackie a while back. That was fun. He's a cool guy. His cities are crazy. His cities are crazy. Yeah, so it's all I have another YouTube project that would involve creating another channel and doing like sort of real life stuff on YouTube. It's actually kind of a cool idea that so I live right now. I actually live in a penthouse apartment on the top floor. It's not like, when I say it's a penthouse, it makes it sound like it's some kind of luxurious thing, but it's actually like a shitty old 70s building that's falling apart. And I live in this very weird, very small apartment that has like a fantastic view of the skyline here in Montreal where I live. And I have a huge like rooftop outdoor space. Well, huge. It's a substantial rooftop like patio that is sort of hasn't been used by the previous tenants very much, or like people were just sort of partying up there but not really doing anything. And I want to plant a huge tomato garden this spring on the roof of this building because it's got a shit ton of sun. And I want to film the whole process and put it on YouTube. I think people fucking love that kind of content. Like, I think you can actually make a successful YouTube channel just like filming yourself gardening and shit. And I think it's awesome. And I want to give it a shot and see if like I can generate any interest for it. Like, I'm not going to present myself as some kind of gardening expert because I'm absolutely not, but it's going to be more like, let's try and make this work and hopefully these plants won't die kind of thing, you know? I think that could be really cool. Okay, I need to think about what I'm doing in this game. I am waiting for this grain harvest, which is in 8.3 days. I've got 5 days of food. I am going to have to harvest the mushrooms when the harvest part happens. He does vlogs of his gardening. It's relaxing as fuck. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I've got a couple friends who are interested in collaborating on the project. So like, because it's not like, once you get into like, you know, filming stuff live with cameras and stuff like that, like it's a little bit more labor intensive. So I have a couple friends who are like into film projects and are interested in helping out. So yeah, it'll be, I think anyway, hopefully I'll be able to do it. I've got to get my hands on a decent camera. You can't, I've tried and learned, not learned the hard way, but I've discovered that like cell phone video is really, really bad in professional editing software. Cell phone video is sort of designed to be uploaded and downloaded and moved around a lot. And so like the codecs that it uses and the compression that it uses really don't play nicely with video editors. So I want to get my hands on even like a fucking GoPro, like just any little, like it doesn't need to be a fancy camera, just like you know, just like a video camera that is adequate for that making that type of content. Just like something 1080p, nothing too elaborate. Okay, we are accumulating rations. We'd love to see it. Okay, what do we do next? We need to get a bakery built. Might as well build the bakery. Now, I don't know if the Dondorians are better at baking than the humans. Let's find out. All right, nice hanging out with you, Lucario. I'm sure we'll be I'm sure we'll see each other again soon, one way or another. Okay. I'll be in touch for the SimCity stuff. All right. I need. What was I gonna do? I was gonna build a bakery. Okay. I don't think the Dondorians are better at baking than the humans. They are not. So we'll put the bakery down near the grain, and the humans will do the baking. And then I'm going to upgrade all my buildings to stone. We're not building with mud this time around. That was a waste of time. Not big enough. Do I bother with the coal this time? Probably. Oh, we're gonna need storage for grain. It's probably not a big enough granary, but it'll do for now. I need to make sure I don't miss... Day 3 of summer is when we need to... Oh, so the game, am I pausing time when you're building? No. So it's all real time. It's all real time. So the game has 4 speeds, which you can see up here. I'm using hotkeys on my keyboard for the, like, actually it's got like 5, well, you got pause, and then you've got like normal speed, which is like basically aesthetic. Like you wouldn't really do anything in this except maybe in combat. You've got this fast speed, which I don't really use. You've got this one, and then you've got a hyper fast speed. So I'm actually just alternating between paused and hyper fast because that's how I play. Because I don't, you know. But if you want to sort of slow the game down and like watch them walk around, it can be kind of neat. I've got a bunch of custom hotkeys that I use in this game. I should just make a tutorial on hotkeys in this game. People would watch that shit, man. Because the default hotkeys are not necessarily super intuitive. Okay, this is a warehouse for grain and bread ish. I'm gonna need more warehouses, but that's okay for now. We are down to 3 days of food, and we only need to get through 1 more day. 1 more day, and we can go harvest all the wild stuff. In the meantime, maybe I will kind of do some aesthetic work on this road. Well, aesthetic, but it also makes them happy. They like the torches. They love streetlights. We need more wood. Yeah, I think I am also playing a lot of EU5 right now, like Europa Universalis 5. And I did stream that a few times. It just, the performance is kind of iffy, so it doesn't, like, anyway, that's a whole other conversation. But there's a streamer called Generalist Gaming that like basically just makes spreadsheets about strategy games. And he made a whole video on like just showing people how he sets up his hotkeys to play the game more efficiently. And like, I think that shit is useful. Like, I think people, like, if you make a 10-minute concise video that explains your logic for how you use it, like, you know, I think people will actually watch that, believe it or not. Okay, it is day 3 of summer, so it's harvest time. Speaking of gardening, okay, harvest, there we go. We're gonna get our herbs for the ration making, and then we're gonna go get some, actually we're getting fruit up here. Humans don't love eating fruit, but it's closer. I can put a little bit of fruit storage here. Like, okay, we're starting to have... Okay, we got lots of food now. Okay, great. Did we get the... Oh, we're getting the mushrooms too. Great. Okay, awesome. All right. I need to figure out where all my workers are. I guess I don't have that many workers. Grain farms, 11. Teledont pasture, carpenters. I just want to make sure I'm not like... Okay, the only people working in warehouses are this one. Okay, we're going to fill up the warehouse with all this great food. Okay, that's all of the fruits. Where's my mushrooms? Oh, they're going to get them. They're going to get them. Yeah. Give me my mushrooms. Yeah, so I'm like pausing and starting. I'm like starting and stopping the game constantly, basically. It's just how I've gotten used to playing it. Some people will prefer to play on slower speeds and just sort of wait, but I like the reactivity of like starting and stopping. So my hand just kind of sits over the hotkeys to do that. Okay, that's good. So the meat is actually being used the way I want it to be used. I think we're gonna scale up put some amenities in place here. Maybe we get the clothing, maybe we get the textile industry going. Oh, we've got a surplus of grain, so we can, yeah, we've got 21 days of food and we're sitting on a surplus of grain. So I'm gonna leave the bakery off for now, while we're gonna start to work on other industries. We're gonna get the clay mine going down here. Oh, we got tons of furniture. That's great. So let's just see if I can fit the auxiliaries in between the deposits. Sorta, kinda, not really. Everything you build in this game has like sort of its core functions, and then it's got these like auxiliary structures that you need to build to make it efficient. So there's kind of a mini game almost where you're designing your building in a way that like fits enough of these auxiliaries to make it functional, but it also needs to be kind of like a little bit strategic in terms of you know, the workers need to have access to like easy access to the workstations and stuff. Sort of. I'm not explaining it very well, but yeah, you know, there's a mini game within the game here of designing buildings in general and making things efficient. Okay, that's a gigantic clay mine. But I feel like last time we needed a big one. If you overbuild stuff, it costs more for maintenance. But we'll need it soon enough. All right, I need all the stone. Every map has a lot of like field stone that you can harvest in the early part of the game, but it's like a finite resource. So, oh, I've got people in this fucking warehouse that are doing nothing. And I think I'm going to increase the population again. Let's just organize this. This housing is reserved for Dondorians. And this housing is reserved for humans. For now. Actually, to be honest, I don't really care who lives in that housing. Oh, did I just ban everyone? Oops, oops, oops. Everyone. Thank you. There we go. Please? Thank you. Okay. The Dondorians don't mind living in noisy areas, so that's where they get to be housed. In fact, we can put some Dondorian housing down here too, and they can do some of the clay mining, because they're better at clay mining than humans. Let's do 5 of each. And why is their loyalty going down? Food days are going down. Okay. That makes sense. I guess we put some bakers. The fuck just happened? I don't know. Okay, that's getting built. Reserve this housing for the Dondorians. And that means we need more housing for the humans. Can I squeeze one in here? Yep. Wait, we got too many people working in that clay mine. Well, we got a big stack of clay. We're also going to need, we desperately need wood. I need to actually get a, I need to get a wood cutter going so we have a permanent supply of wood. Okay, we need to also, I think what we need to do here is, yeah, let's make a bigger, 82% load, 100% load. Yeah, we need to make bigger amenities here. I'm just kind of looking for the center point of, yeah, that's good. Okay. Make a big public square up here. Come on, guys. There we go. Okay. That's gonna help. All right, we can get rid of these little ones. And then I'll just redo these torches because they were bugging me. Something like that. Let's do a little mini park here just for kicks. Some trees, flowers. Some of the races really like the flora. Like the Cretonians, the Cretonians and the Talapis really like living in like organic cities with like lots of wooden structures and like extra flora. The humans and the Dondorians, they mainly like the lights. Although humans like the flora too. Go get the stone. Oh. Yes, get the stone. We're going to upgrade our buildings because I forgot to do that. Anything else need to be upgraded? I think everything's upgraded. Okay. Looking good. We need more grain farms, I want to say. Oh, and I definitely need to get the woodcutter going. How much wood are you consuming? You're consuming 24. We're gonna need a woodcutter for 20 people easily. So I guess the humans are gonna do the wood cutting. We can put the woodcutter over here, yeah. Or actually, we'll put it closer. We'll put it up here so it's a little bit closer to the carpenter for now. Yeah, the move throne option. Yeah, so I'll show you that in a sec. Let me just place this woodcutter. There's no king character. You know, you the player are the king, but like this building that we dropped at the start of when we first started playing is our throne room. We can like resize it, and we can build like empty buildings and like put the throne in it. You can build like a keep to keep your throne, but basically like there's a kind of tower defense aspect of this game. If you get attacked by a bigger army and you don't want to fight them like in the field, what you do is you can build like a walled city or like a keep and like put archers on the walls and like defend your city. So if the enemy takes your throne, if they reach your throne, then it's not game over, but you have to give them like a third of all your resources and money. So yeah, that is sort of a core feature of the game, protecting the throne. Okay, we need coal for that bakery is what we need. But we needed this first. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't say constantly looking out for battles. On the default setting, which I almost, honestly, I wanted to change this time around, but on the default setting, like until you get to about 200 population, you don't get raided, but basically there's all these raiders, and depending on how rich your city is, they're more interested in raiding it. So like our city is like piss poor right now. We don't have a lot of resources in our warehouses, and we don't have any money at all. So like, because we haven't really engaged in any kind of trade or anything. So once your city becomes like a more compelling target, you need to start building army to protect against raiders. So there's a few, you know, one strategy is to have a very kind of bare bones army, like, but to build like defensive structures, or you can kind of, I have found so far that like offense is kind of the best defense in this game, but I like the idea. I prefer the idea of like building a walled city and, you know, kind of playing, not really engaging much in the sort of conquest aspect of the game, but building like a self-sufficient city that can kind of like survive. Like, cause the problem is like when your city is under siege, you can't trade for resources. So if you have a huge population and you don't have like enough grain supply, you can run out of grain. Like there's a whole kind of siege defense aspect of the game, which is fucking cool. This game goes deep, and it's got a lot of mechanics. The developer puts out a new version every like 3 or 4 months, and the balance of the game tends to change a lot, and there's certain aspects of the game that it's sort of like he sort of can't figure out what he wants to do with them, I think. But it's early access. It's been in early access for like 5 or 6 years, but like I've already put like 1,200 hours into this game. Like I would never hesitate to recommend this game to anyone. Like some people are a little bit like, oh, I don't know if I want to buy an early access game. Like if the developer never does anything else to this game, you could still play it for years. So for me, it's like, I understand why he's leaving it in early access, because he wants to be able to make bigger changes to it without feeling like I think he does not want to feel like he has to deliver a finished product and he can't keep changing his game, basically. Which is fair, you know, because when you're in early access, you don't really have a commitment to, you know, it being a finished product, right? I mean, you have a commitment to finish it at some point, but Anyway. Yeah, so it's a good game, and there's a lot going on, and it's worth, it's definitely worth checking out. I should update my tutorial for it. The part of the reason I haven't updated the tutorial for this game as well is that, like, I keep wanting to make, like, a mid-game tutorial. But I keep getting to the mid-game and bricking my cities, so... And I'm also, I don't know, I'm kind of the type of person who likes to restart a lot in games. And I really have to resist the temptation to do that if I'm gonna actually polish out a proper tutorial for this game, because it's sort of a never-ending process. No, I actually don't really want them to go there. I don't want to build extra roads. Okay. You can use fences to block people off so that they use the roads that you built rather than having to, you know, you can reduce the number of roads that you need to maintain by restricting where they can walk, basically. It's kind of cool. Like, it's interesting because this game, like, it doesn't, like, it's got a traffic simulator. Like, they move faster on these roads, but it's a pedestrian traffic simulator, which is kind of cool when you think about it from, like, a city building perspective, you know? Like, there are, like, carts that they can use to cart materials around and stuff, but basically this is like a pedestrian city builder, which is kind of trippy if you think about it. All right, I need a charcoaler. So this is one of these logistics questions, right? Like, the bread is being made over here. The grain is coming from here. In order to make the charcoal, we're going to turn the wood into coal. It's actually a pretty easy one to solve, though, because we're only transporting 0.5 coal to make 7 bread. So I think... Whereas the coal recipe is 2 lumber to 6 coal. So I think the charcoaler goes beside the wood. Like, basically, the question is, are we transporting 2 units of wood or 0.5 units of coal? And 0.5 units of coal is cheaper labor-wise to transport. So that's what we're gonna do. Last time when the last city that I started, I kind of wasn't taking the time to ask questions like that, and shit got messy. I just need a tiny charcoaler. Tiny charcoaler. And we're going to store a little bit of coal over here. Probably just need 1 guy to work in this. Okay, it's happening. The charcoal is happening. We love to see it. And that means we can switch the bakery over to the charcoal recipe, and we're going to put a hauler by the bakery. Here is fine. Close enough. Coal. Fetch coal. Don't auto-employ. There. Okay, why is it not quite understand where the coal is going? Unavailable coal and grain? Whoa, we're out of grain. No, we're not. Oh, shit. Yeah, we are. Okay. Well, we're not out of food, so that's fine. Yeah, I'm overproducing bread and underproducing grain. That's not ideal. Okay, all right. That's fine. I will expand my settlement here. I need more housing, and we'll get another grain farm going. What's the? I gotta be careful because, yeah, I don't really want to expand my housing and stuff into this area because this is the super high fertility stuff. So let's actually go over here. And we want to build some housing that is maybe not too close to the bakery. Something like... Let's do one like this. One like this. Actually, yeah, now we're talking. Make a little mini block. Okay, good. It kind of makes sense to flip that around, actually. I'll do it after. Okay. Okay, give me more dudes. Because we need more farms. Oh, the last game, there was a guy who died in a cave. Yeah, I was tunneling into a cave to build a mine, and I accidentally tunneled him. Like, I basically accidentally, like, sealed him into the cave. No, he doesn't, you don't manually go and find the bodies. Something I can explain with how the game works. Basically, I keep looking at this number up here with a little hammer beside it. That's our workforce. Like, every time I assign workers to a specific job, like, that's their job forever until I tell them otherwise. But if they're not assigned to a job, or if they're idle at their job, they become what are called odd jobbers, who are people who do, like, any extra jobs. They're not like, so when I set up this construction to build this farm, it's gonna be built by odd jobbers. So the land is gonna be cleared, it's gonna be built by odd jobbers. Once the farm has employees, they work for the farm, and, like, their labor is no longer mobile. When somebody dies, an odd jobber has to go pick up their corpse, unless you have a graveyard, in which case the grave digger's job is to go pick up the corpses. That's the job system in the game is, like, it's pretty cool. It's fairly intuitive. It's fairly intuitive once you sort of wrap your head around it. Like, all these blue highlighted tiles are jobs that I'm allocating manually. That'll be done by this pool of odd jobbers. And then, like, the jobs in this bakery are, like, permanently allocated, so they do the same job every day. We need more storage for grain and bread. Okay, good. No, he walked in, and I had, like, what happened is I tunneled into a cave, and then I built something in front of it. And he was on the wrong side of the wall when that wall got finished. So, game over for him. Why? I don't understand. I am making coal. Oh, the bakeries are using the coal. Okay. It's all getting used. Just want to see, like... Okay, so here's an interesting thing to look at. We can actually go to this building here. Like, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this hauler. So I can go inspect. And I can... This is the person who... This is the citizen that's, like, responsible for that job. So we can actually watch a citizen go through their entire day. So, like, right now, what are they doing? They are warming up at the hearth. Let's speed it up a bit here, and I can... But they're really taking their time warming up at that hearth. Yeah, so now they are they're off. What time is it? Yeah, okay. So now they're going back to their home. I don't lose track of them. Like every single citizen has like a whole full day routine. And as you build more amenities, they like fit the amenities into the routine. Like it's a whole thing. So the placement of your amenities, I'm trying to figure out if this hauler is actually hauling coal. Is what I'm doing, but they've got too much leisure time is the problem. When does leisure time end? Okay, now he's sleeping. It's nighttime. Okay, let's speed it up for a second here. Okay, he's awake. It's really hard to... Okay, he's... Damn it! Oh, it's still midnight. Okay. Okay. Dude, get to work. Fuck, I lost him. Where'd he go? Let's find him again. Are you the hauler? Yeah, his name is Anna Doyle, and the names are like, they're not procedurally generated. Waiting for work. Okay, wait a second. I know what's going on here. Did I not? Oh, okay, so he's not going to get the coal because the coal is not appearing in the warehouse. Something is happening here where somebody from the... Okay, let's double up our coal production for a second here. Yeah, this guy's gonna have a very low workload. But we can probably produce the coal over here, and this hauler's gonna have very little work to do for now because it's not that far. But if we get like a bunch of bakeries going, we could probably power like 4 or 5 bakeries with just one hauler. One hauler hauling coal, and this is interesting too because I can probably move all of this lumber stuff like into the mountain. We'll see. We will see. Okay. I'm thinking... we should get a few more Dondorians. And maybe we get a textile industry going. Let's build a market too. A food stall. They love the food stalls. I think I'll go for a bigger one this time. I feel like double food stall is the way to go. Oh my god, my phone thought I was talking to its AI. Okay. Alright. Something like that. Let's rotate it. And... no. Maybe I can size this so that it's sort of dimensioned similarly to the... no. What if I do... I guess that kind of defeats the purpose of doing the double thing. Oh, maybe we do like 1.5. Yeah. There we go. Now it kind of lines up with this. See, if you design things to make them modular and stuff like that, you can sort of move things around. You can also, I don't remember, what have I done? No, blueprints. You can create like, I don't know, I have a bunch of blueprints from older versions of the game, but like, you can create and save blueprints of buildings that you've designed in the past. Oh yeah, the tilapis like these like round buildings, so like I designed these like weird diagonal buildings for them. Like these are, I think that is supposed to go inside a mountain. Yeah, it's for Baltic crawlers. I tend to forget that they exist, the blueprints that I make, and then I tend to just redo everything, but you know, they're really cool. Okay, the food gets distributed to the people. We love to see it. Let's keep the road system going. Slightly more expensive to build this stuff, like in terms of janitors and stuff like that, but I think it's worth it. Just for my sanity. To actually build the roads out in advance and not just be like adding them when we need them. Put some torches out. Oh yeah, that hauler's bringing. He's hauling coal. He's hauling coal. Okay, we have lit streets. And a grain shortage, apparently. God, this is why we're not accumulating rations. Fucking annoying, man. I need to not run out of grain. It's kind of a priority. Oh yeah, that's normal though. It's only been this grain hasn't been harvested yet. Whenever you're like farming, like you use part of your harvests to expand your crop. So okay. Take a look at our production rate here. Yeah, okay, we need more, don't we? Yeah, we need more grain. Okay, I need to leave room here for an aqueduct, or a canal, or whatever we're calling them. Just put another 5 or 6 farmers there. Yeah, I'm gonna need to adjust that to fit the pump, but that's okay. At least I'm marking it. Okay. Oh yeah, this clay mine is not being used, and that probably means that our coal guy... We need clay to maintain the charcoaler. So... make sure we have at least 1 clay worker and a place to store the clay. Right. Yeah, thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for hanging out in chat. That's awesome. I'm probably gonna call it a night actually. I think pretty soon because it is getting pretty late. This is cool. I am kind of glad I restarted because I felt like the other city was just getting really messy. And I think it's like a really good practice in this game to actually build your decorations as you build, because it doesn't get easier as your city gets bigger to like put in proper roads and like put torches on your roads and stuff like that. There's ways you can sort of copy paste stuff if you build templates, but if you want to build an organic city, you kind of have to do all this stuff as you go along. And definitely, I think I've avoided the worst aspects of the sort of sprawl that we had in the last attempt at building this. Everything's very compact. Next thing to do would be to get this textile industry going. Did I solve the food problem? Pretty much. Yeah, the food is pretty balanced now. Yeah, I'll be back at this. I'll come back to this in the next day or two. I'll probably, depending on how my SimCity 4 project goes tomorrow, I'll probably be eager to stream again. So it'll be attempt number 2 at getting this walled city concept to work. And I really should stick to the walled city concept and not get distracted and just build a bunch of cavalry and weird army. I think I should build archers. I think we're gonna do a small force of infantry, or maybe a small force of cavalry and then all archers. Maybe all archers and cavalry and no infantry. That could be cool. Anyway, to be continued tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out, everyone, and I will see you soon.